Good morning and welcome to Monday Matins for January 25th. Do you ever anticipate something, perhaps with great longing, only to have everything turn out differently than you had expected? Is this year turning out as you had anticipated or hoped or prayed for? The events of January 6th may not have been a complete surprise, but they certainly were not pleasing. And these new variants of coronavirus, which are fast spreading and already found from Brazil to the UK to Oregon, are frightening. One of the new variants has been estimated to be 50% more easily transmitted than common variants. This all means that many of the masks people are wearing and the 6 foot social distance we're keeping is all insufficient to guarantee anyone's safety, all while a good percentage of the world's population has already reached a significant degree of COVID fatigue. And all the while, we're dealing with a decidedly slow rollout of the COVID vaccine. Just last week, our governor in Washington state, Governor Inslee, announced we have over 1.5 million people as of this moment who are eligible for this vaccine, and we are only receiving less than 10% of that in supplies per week. So there's going to be inevitable frustration that we will have to steel ourselves to as we find out a way to deliver these vaccines as much as humanly possible. We all know that patience is a virtue, but if you're like me, you've found that it's not one of your virtues, or not one you're particularly fond of putting into practice. You may know the parable of the Chinese bamboo tree, wherein the farmer plants a tiny bamboo seed and waits and watches, tenderly caring for the soil day after day, week after week, yet nothing happens. There are no visible signs of activity or development, yet the farmer continues the care, water, fertile soil, sunshine. A year goes by, then two. Still no growth above the soil. The farmer continues the faithful care. A third year and fourth pass, still no signs. Patience is tested, and observers begin to wonder if the farmer's time and efforts will ever be rewarded. But the farmer knows the truth. And finally, in the fifth year, voila, there is growth. And what growth it is! The Chinese bamboo tree grows 80 feet in just 6 weeks. Friends and family marvel, 80 feet. They've never seen anything the like. Who could have guessed? So the farmer asks them, do you truly imagine all that growth took place in just those final 6 weeks? Do you think the tiny seed lay dormant all those years, then suddenly sprang to life? Of course not. Over those years, the tiny little tree was growing underground, developing a root system and a stable base strong enough to support its potential for outward growth in its fifth year and beyond. If the tree had not developed a strong, unseen foundation, it could not have sustained its life as it grew. I'm tired of quarantining. I'm tired of wearing a mask after having a COVID test and waiting hours and hours for my results and still waiting. I'm just tired of waiting, period. I'm tired of knowing that I'm one of those at-risk patients, but it'll be months before I can get a vaccine. But I know that, like a tiny bamboo seed, I'm not just sitting buried in a bit of soil. I have this opportunity to keep strengthening and spreading my spirit and the very grounding of my being. I have opportunities to grow, and I don't just mean by eating the fudge my spouse likes to make for me, but to truly grow in meaningful ways, one of which is to develop my capacity for patience. I know I'm forevermore taking Bible verses out of context, but in instances like this, I like the words from Romans 12. Rejoice in hope, Be patient in suffering, persevere in prayer. I find that verse to be encouraging. This is also a good time to remember that A. Milne, he wrote Winnie the Pooh, once said, "Rivers know this, there is no hurry. We shall get there someday." In the meanwhile, as our pandemic continues, find a few more ways to keep your wits about you. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay mindful, and have a really good week. Bye-bye.